What is up and welcome back, y'all. I have the energy today. So we just knocked out that belt tensioner that was broken on the front of the car, put the whole front of the car back together. Everything seems to be okay, knock on wood at this point. So we'll see in the next coming days how that diff drop is, how that belt tensioner is, and if we get any squeaking from all the idler pulleys that was changed. So hopefully everything's kosher there. But past that, now what we're gonna get to is I have the Goose Gear camp kitchen here in the back of the truck. I have a video of the install of that. So if you guys are curious about the install or how to pull that out, that video will show you how to do it. This is all gonna be about sound deadening, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so here we are in the back of the FJ. I actually got this idea from a other YouTube channel called Toyota Trail Trash. That guy has a super clean FJ and it's kind of inspired me to start wrenching on mine again, fixing all the little broken things to try to aspire to have a clean FJ. But anyways, he bought the roll kind of sound deadening where you cut it and trim it yourself. I got some that's already like pre-cut. I thought it just looked just a tad bit cleaner than the stuff that he had. I'm not sure the size on this right now, but this is what I have. Pre-cut sheets of sound deadening. I got this off Amazon. So the plan is to put these side by side in the back of the truck and see what it looks like. I have a terrible rattle somewhere in this truck. I feel like it's extremely noisy. And one of the things he pointed out that I'll point out is if you get underneath the truck and look, it's actually just all bare metal under here. So it makes sense why it's extremely noisy. So I'm gonna put sound deadening on that top half and see if that takes care of our problem. So let me get all this stuff out of here and then we'll go from there. I got this pretty much down to a science too. There's not very many bolts holding these things in right here. It's only 8 bolts in the feet. You can't really see it on that one. There it is. You got like total of 4 feet. Each foot gets 2 bolts. So super simple to pull in and out. This is currently what we're looking like. I just have the platform in here. I never put the rubber floor underneath that. So once I get this out, I'm gonna vacuum this all out, clean it out pretty good, and then we can start laying down our sound deadening. So it should be pretty quick. Like I said, this is pretty simple, pulling this in and out of the car. The question really is, how far do I wanna go? I know that Toyota Trail Trash guy even pulled these side panels out and went up these side panels too. And I think he did his doors too. We only got 10 square foot of sound deadening though, so we'll see how far we can make it. And just like that, guys, we are done. I don't think I actually have showed putting in the platform system for the Goose Gear camp kitchen. Super easy, piece of plywood. But I think there is there's 6 bolts I hold it in, 1 in the corner right here, 2 at the top, 2 at the top, and 1 in the corner. So once you pull those out, this thing just slides in and out. And as you can see, there is nothing there but bare metal. So could explain a lot of the sound. Please excuse the mess. This has been on several camping trips and this platform doesn't come out very often. But even looking up there under the seats, now you see why that trail trash guy even did underneath there, because all you have is a thin piece of rubber, I think is what that is. So not really keeping the noise out, which could explain why this thing is so noisy on the inside. So we're gonna pull this platform out and then vacuum all this out, clean it out, wipe it down with some alcohol, then start putting in our sound deadening pads. Here we are. I vacuumed out the back of this thing and I cleaned out the back of this thing as well. And let me tell you, it was filthy behind these panels. And then I also found a loose hook for where I used to keep the bottle jag. That could be my rattle as well, to be honest. Have to figure out a way to take that out so I can get rid of that rattle. But I laid out all these sheets that I have right here. I'll have to cut a couple to fill in the gaps up the side. And then it's looking like I'll only have about 3 pads left. So 10 square feet is what I ordered. Looks like it's just enough to do the trunk and maybe a little bit of these side panels. But still stoked to see the difference that it makes. So I'm gonna start peeling the back off of these and start laying them down. And then once I get to a finished product, I will show you guys what that looks like. Hopefully I can get a pretty good cut on these ones on the end. Or maybe I'll cut the ones in the middle. Not quite sure yet, but I'll show you exactly how I do it and what the finished product comes out to be. Here is the finished product. This is all 10 square feet. I pulled up a couple more trim pieces to get underneath those. And then the extras I had, I tried to tuck into the wheel wells. There's a little bit behind this wheel well as well. If you can see in there, I tucked some back in there a little bit. So I'm gonna put it all back together. 10 square feet gives you enough just to do pretty much the trunk and throw whatever extra you had. I also had the hook in here that used to hold the bottle jack that was in there rattling around, so that could have been my second rattle. That's the second one we found in a couple of days of messing around with the FJ. So I'm gonna put everything back in here, throw all the drawers back in here, and I'm curious if you'll make a difference. I don't have to go anywhere tonight, but next time I drive the car, I will let you guys know down in the comments section. All right, guys, I'll be back with you once I put this back together. Trim pieces going back in on each side. Don't think it came out too bad. Just ran out of material, or else I would have filled in some of these spots and kept going a little bit more forward. But all right, let's get this camp kitchen back in here. Okay, guys, that does it for this one. The camp kitchen's back in there along with that single drawer. Again, I got this idea from the YouTube channel called Toyota Trail Trash. Really like his videos. After I saw this was all bare metal in the back of the FJ, kind of makes sense why it's so noisy, so I'm anxious to see what it sounds like. But that'll do it for this one, so please hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you for the half shaft and the pod light install. Peace.